Hello everyone and welcome to my second upload to this channel. Today we are going to play RU, which came out a couple days ago, and I built this really fun team. It contains a lot of overpowered Pokemon in my opinion in the tier, but almost everyone is using that, so I'm basically, I feel forced to use those. I'm going to do a live session with this team later. That's how incredibly much I adore this team. So without further ado, I would like to jump into this team preview. My first Pokemon is going to be Specially Defensive Dragalge with Toxic Spike's Venoshock combination. He also carries Haze just to get rid of setup sweepers. My second Pokemon is going to be Sharpedo, which is a Life Orb variant with Protect, Crunch, Waterfall, and Earthquake. A lot of people do not expect Earthquake on Sharpedo, even though in my opinion it should be quite common because it's really good for coverage, and obviously Earthquake has 100 base power. The next one is going to be Coco, which is going to be my Ambipom. It's a Silk Scarf Ambipom with Technician, and boy, Fake Out does a lot of damage. This is usually my lead, but a lot of people predict that and just switch in a Ghost type or Protect first turn. Third Pokemon is going to be Constructor, which is my Rhyperior, which sets up Stealth Rocks, which also applies a lot of pressure on the enemy team, just as Dragalge's Toxic Spikes. His other moves are Earthquake, Rock Blast, and Mega Horn, and this is just a defensive variant with a lot of attacking moves. The next one is going to be Xatu, which carries the U-Turn, Psychic, Roost, and T-Wave, and obviously the Magic Bounce, and is my specially defensive variant. It has a little bit of speed investment, so it can outspeed all the other 95 base speed Pokemon, which are a lot in the rarely used tier. It can only outspeed those who obviously do not carry any speed EVs at all. And the last Pokemon, but definitely not the least Pokemon, is going to be Assaultfest Raikou. You have to use Rash Nature Raikou because it only comes with a special event, and then you're forced to use Rash Nature. My coverage moves on that are T-Bolt, Volt Switch, Aura Sphere, which are standard, and my last one is Hidden Power Grass because in my opinion that's more useful than Hidden Power Ice. So that was my team preview, and I want to jump right into this battle. I'm going to lead off with Ambipom, as he's going to lead off with this Whimsicott, and I just go for a standard Fake Out, but since this thing carries Prankster most of the time, I'm fearing the Thunder Wave, so I switch out into Niagi to get him paralyzed. Looking at his team, I actually should have known this was a Trick Room team, so I Thunder Wave him, which he doesn't care about because, well, now he sets up his Trick Room and reveals to me that this is indeed a Trick Room team. As I predict him to switch again, so I go for another Thunder Wave, and I got fortunate with my paralysis in this game, I must admit. But he goes for Crunch, and Rhyperior does not care at all. And now I double switch into the count, predicting the fighting move, and now I just want to exert pressure on his team by going for the Toxic Spikes. But later he reveals to me that this Pangoro does carry the Earthquake, so I got really lucky there with the Parahacks, as I just go for Dragon Pulse, as he goes for a Parting Shot now and just completely switches out. So now he goes into Reuniclus. So as I said in team preview, I am the Toxic Spikes Venoshock combination, but knowing that he wants to go for Trick Room, I actually go into Ambipom, and so I try to stall out the Trick Room by going for Fake Out, so that's another turn. But now I have to switch, and I go into Niagi as he sets up a Substitute, which is a good play. He's poisoned the Substitute, questionable play, but it turns out to be really decent. He goes for a Shadow Sneak, and I live that, but not well. So obviously I want to switch out, and more than likely into something that'll take the Shadow Sneak really well. And he predicts that as I go into my Ambipom. He goes for the Unprotected Focus Punch, which really completely catches me off guard, and there goes my Ambipom, which could have been a useful member to this team due to Fake Out and stalling out the Trick Room turns. But Trick Room does end, so I go into the count. I almost said the count, but I meant the count, and I go for Venoshock, completely forgetting that Ghost resists poison. But now I do kill it with the Dragon Pulse, and that is GG good at Dust Noir. But now it goes in X-Cloud, and apparently he doesn't know anything about Dragology speed, but it is absolutely horrible. It has like base 44 speed, I believe. So, due to Toxic Spikes, he cannot live another Venoshock, so he's forced to switch, and I just go for another Venoshock, because it's obvious, and it's the best play to make right now. But now I predict him to go for his Psychic, so I go and switch into my Dark type, but he predicts me again and goes for the Focus Blast. This guy has his prediction game on point, I swear. But now I go into Rhyperior because I can kill it with a Mega Horn, but unfortunately I missed the Mega Horn on the Whimsicott. But now I go for another one. Also forgetting that Fairy doesn't give fucks about bug typing. Well, he probably just wants to set up his Trick Room again, so... But now it's getting too risky and I switch out, so I go into Dragology. As he get paralyzed again, and I just want to go for Venoshock and kill this thing. And he realizes that nothing on his team likes to switch in any Venoshock, so he just fodders off his Whimsicott, which is a good play on his part again. But as we see now, Dragology was faster in Trick Room, so this thing is obviously faster, so I have to switch. So I have to sack something, which is going to be Niaji. Niaji actually did decent this battle. So I'm going to switch into Sally, and I went for T-Bolt, and at this point I typed something along the lines of, well, if you survive this, I will kill a baby. But he goes into Slowking, and I do not... Oh, I'm not afraid of this thing by any means, because I am the Assault Vest set, so I'm going for 2 Thunderbolts, which is going to take out this Slowking, which is just great. But now I have to switch because this thing does threaten out Raikou, and it has shit defense. So I go into the count, and at this point he reveals to me that he does have Earthquake, and I got really lucky at the start of this game. But now I just go into Rhyperior and completely wall the rest of his team. Trick Room runs out, I do outspeed the Pangoro right now, and I go for another Earthquake, and now the Reuniclus comes in, and I just kill it with a Mega Horn. So that was a really good game, yes, no, wait, what? And I will hope to battle you soon again. So I truly hope you enjoyed this battle as much as I did when I was playing the actual game. If you want to see more of me, please hit the subscribe button, and you can also follow me on Twitter, and I'm going to stream on Twitch TV as often as possible on twitch.tv//solutionmlg. And hopefully this was the end of the video, and hopefully I will see you guys